Let me ask you something. How much of your energy is spent solving problems that don't exist yet? You call it being careful, realistic, prepared, but deep down, you know it's something else. It's not preparation, it's not caution, it's fear dressed up as responsibility. Worry isn't helping you plan, it's helping you survive a future you haven't even lived. If that hits deep, stay with me, because what you're about to hear won't just help you manage your anxiety. It will teach you how to take your mind back. The illusion of safety. Worry feels productive, like you're doing something useful, triple-checking that text, replaying that meeting, rehearsing an apology you might never need. Your brain calls it being responsible, but what it's really doing is trying to control the uncontrollable. And you know what the price is? You're not present in your life. You're half listening in conversations because your mind is running simulations. You go to bed tired but wired, your body in one room, your mind trapped in an imaginary future. Worry gives you a sense of control, but it steals your actual power. And here's what it doesn't want you to know. Worry is a false prophet. Worry makes promises it never keeps. It whispers, if you prepare for the worst, it won't hurt as much. But when the worst happens, it still hurts. And when it doesn't, you've just lived the pain twice. Worry rehearses heartbreak, rejection, failure before they even knock at your door. But look back. How many of the things you stayed up dreading actually came true? And the ones that did worrying about them help you? Or did it just leave you burned out before life even asked you to show up? Worry doesn't protect you. Presence does. And that's what we're stepping into next. The shift from fear to focus. Something strange happens when you stop chasing every what if. Your vision clears. You stop scanning the horizon for lightning strikes and finally notice the sky is actually calm. It's not that danger disappears. It's that you no longer live in a world where every moment is a potential threat. Your nervous system, once stuck in survival mode, starts to recalibrate. You go from reacting to responding, from tensing to trusting. You realize that what you thought was responsibility was just hypervigilance, passed down by a world that taught you fear was safety. But you don't need fear to guide you anymore. You're ready for something deeper. Redefining strength. Strength is not being ready for every outcome. It's being ready for yourself, no matter what outcome comes. It's walking into uncertainty without needing every variable mapped out. True power isn't knowing everything. It's trusting that you'll handle anything, even when things fall apart, even when you're unsure, because your worth doesn't come from having the answers. It comes from staying rooted when the answers don't show up. And the moment you stop letting worry write your story, you take the pen back. You stop being a character in someone else's narrative and start becoming the author of your own. That's not just healing. That's liberation. And from that place, you begin to meet life completely differently. What peace really looks like. Peace doesn't mean everything around you is calm. It means you are. It's not the silence after the storm. It's the silence inside you, even while the winds still howl. You stop needing certainty like oxygen. You stop demanding closure like a drug. You let things be unresolved without feeling unsafe. That's the moment life becomes lighter. Not because it's easier, but because you're no longer carrying every possible outcome like a weight on your chest. You give up the fantasy of controlling the world and find freedom in controlling how you meet it. But there's still one more lie worry tells you. Busy isn't brave. We've been conditioned to believe that a noisy mind is a smart mind, that anxiety is ambition in disguise, that constant thinking means you're ahead of the game. But that's not intelligence. That's dysregulation. It's your nervous system stuck in overdrive, mistaking silence for danger. We've confused overthinking with self-awareness, when it's really just mental chaos in a suit and tie. Here's the truth. You don't need to figure everything out right now. You don't need a plan for every fork in the road. You just need to be here, in this moment, and meet life as it comes. And once you do that, something beautiful happens. Becoming the calm in the chaos. You begin to notice things others don't. The way your breath slows when you stop spiraling. The way decisions feel clearer when they're made from clarity, not panic. The way people respond differently to your presence when it's no longer dripping with fear. You're not reacting, you're leading, even in stillness. You're not pushing, you're inviting. With your energy, you become someone others look to, not because you're loud, but because your calm is louder than their chaos. And that's not luck, that's alignment, because you stopped fighting everything with worry and started living with trust. And now you're ready for the final shift, the freedom to let go. There's a quiet kind of power in letting things be unfinished, in not rushing toward a solution, in allowing a moment to just exist without needing to fix it, label it, or predict it. That kind of freedom can't be given to you. You build it. Moment by moment, every time you choose awareness over anxiety, every time you interrupt a spiral with a breath, every time you say, "This is not a crisis, this is just now." And over time, your brain learns something profound. You don't have to suffer your way to safety. You can choose peace without asking fear for permission. Rewriting your mental script. When you stop living in rehearsals for a future that hasn't arrived, you start living in a present that has been waiting for you. You begin to hear the birds again, taste your coffee again, feel the ground beneath your feet like it matters again. You stop rushing through the moments that are, in fear of the ones that might be. And you return home to yourself, not a version of you shaped by panic, but the real you, grounded, clear, enough. And that's where your life begins again, not with a dramatic change, but with a simple choice, to stop worrying and start living. If you've ever felt trapped inside your own thoughts, if worry has ever convinced you that fear was the same thing as love, or preparation, or strength, then you already know how exhausting it is. But here's your reminder. You're not your fear. You're not your spirals. You're not your worst-case scenarios. You are the awareness behind them. And every moment is a chance to choose differently. So before you go, ask yourself this: what would I do differently if I trusted that I'd be okay no matter what? Sit with that. And if this resonated, don't just scroll on. Subscribe, breathe, return.